Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. We are talking about October favorites already, and it seems like that crept up on us kind of quickly, especially because there have been so many dang holiday things that I've been trying out, so it really causes me to focus in on the few things here and there that have gotten consistent use over the past month. Believe it or not, in the midst of all the experimentation, there are some things that I feel like I've kept going back to, formulas and things that I've really enjoyed, so I'm going to focus on those in this video for you. First thing that I have really liked, and it was something I started using because I was testing it out, but I kept using it because I truly liked it. It's this Ulta Beauty Complexion Perfection Blending Sponge and Setting Spray set. Doesn't that look exciting? No, I got the sponge here. It looks a lot like a regular beauty blender. This one I used today, so it's kind of like blown up to its fullest size. Also comes with a smaller one, which I did not use today, but this one ends up expanding to be a lot like the size of the Beauty Blender blusher. And then it also comes with a matte makeup setting spray, which, you know, that's okay for me. It's not really the selling point of this little kit. I love the sponges though. They're really extra soft. I feel like they've got a little different texture than a standard beauty blender. I feel like I sense even a little more softness to them, and they're just great, you know, blending out foundation, blending concealer, whatever you want to do. This size is very, very versatile. I've used it in cream contour, cream blush. So this kit, I believe, was $14, and if you're looking to try a couple of sponges that are of really good quality, you might want to check that out. Next thing I've been using a ton of is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer. I think I mentioned in a video where I was using this how it's really super creamy. It reminds me of the consistency of Benefit Erase Paste, but it's in more of an overall skin tone type color. While I love Erase Paste for its peachy tone corrector type quality, I think this can be even a little bit more versatile, just used wherever you need it on the skin. And I have it in the shade 2.5. It's still hanging strong for me. I still feel like it's doing a good job concealing on the under eye area, but it's so creamy. I think my dry skin people who feel like a lot of concealers, even if they look good right after you apply them and you feel like they start like just, you know, sucking the moisture out of your skin and making you look older, this is a nice concealer that gives back a little bit of moisture, and then you can set it as much as you feel like you need to. And I've said it before, but this shade is working for me right now, but I may need a lighter color eventually. Also, my blush. A blush I have been wearing so much lately has been a real, like, neutral blush that does not interfere with anything. Like, some days I'm not even sure yet, like, what eye look am I going to experiment with? What lip color do I need to use today? And so my blush has been one of, like, the color cosmetics of my look that has really taken a back seat lately and been sort of boring and kind of neutral most of the time. Not that I think this is a boring shade, I think it's a super universal and really wearable shade, but you know what I'm saying. The blush is not like stealing the spotlight for my looks lately. And one I've been wearing a lot is my MAC Mineralized Blush in Warm Soul. This is not like some new product to hit the market. It's been around for quite a long time. I'm sure it's loved by many. At a glance, it's the kind of blush that I look at and think, is that even going to show up on me? But it really does make this soft, like, neutral blush impact, and I'm wearing it on this cheek. On this cheek, I'm wearing the thing that I feel like is, I'm not going to call it an all-out dupe because I feel like dupes should be freaking exact, okay? If you're going to throw around the word dupe, let's make them dupes. But by the time it shears out on my cheeks, it really does look very similar to the MAC, and it's my CoverGirl Soft Mink. Have I talked about this before as being really close to this one? Because they are just super close. This one ends up being just a little bit rosier. If you see them side by side in a concentrated swatch, I feel like this one has a hair more pink, but I'm wearing that on this side, this one on this side. I've got a little highlight on as well that I'll talk about in a second, but they're so close. I'm just loving my neutral easy blushes these days, and both of these do have a little bit of glow to them as well, so I love those. And then my highlight that I think is so great, and I've been trying like some different highlight kits and products and stuff, and this highlight still stands out to me as being fantastic, and it's the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. The shade is called 10 Be My Highlight, and it's so good. And at a glance you might think, is that like beige? Is it too deep? But I feel like what's special about this highlight is regardless of how it looks in the pan, and many of you guys can vouch for this, I think, if you have it and you've worn it, when this shears out on the skin, it's kind of like invisible soft glow. I've got it on the top of my cheeks, and it's just like a remarkably invisible highlight. That's the only way I can put it. You don't see this thickness of color. You know, some products, they pick up just a ton on the brush, and then you put it on your skin and you're seeing kind of like this swath of color going across. This is not like that. Maybe in a swatch you can really get it on there thick and feel like, okay, is it a soft beige highlight? I'm not sure. But by the time a brush goes into that product and shears it across the skin, it's like this invisible softened glow, minus any glitter, minus harsh metallic shimmery particles. It's like the softest pearlescent glow. I love it. Let's talk liquid lipstick for a moment, and what I feel like is my favorite liquid lipstick formula on the market, and my gateway into this line was actually a little duo. It's the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Liquid Lip Color, and I had tried a duo that had a shade called Boss in it, which I really like, and it also had a gloss with that. And so I thought for around the holidays, are they coming out with some kind of big set of their liquid lipsticks that I could latch onto? Well, I did find a trio, and I found this at Ulta. It's called Nude and Nice, and they give you 3 of their Gen Nude liquid lipsticks. I'm sorry. But what I like about this formula is it's so light, and it does not get cakey, dry, ugly looking on the lips, basically. When it fades down, which it does. I had on one of these colors yesterday, and I noticed, like, after I ate lunch, I thought, well, the color has faded substantially, but at the same time, it looked completely even still on my lips. Like, I wouldn't have glanced at that and thought, ooh, you know, that looks funny, or even anything I really need to mess with. Like, I didn't mind the look. In other words, I think these are the most comfortable matte liquid lipsticks. I don't think they dry down to like a deceptive color that you weren't expecting. So like, these are the 3 in this little set, and I've got swatches here. So the lightest one is called Wink. The one in the middle is called Infamous, and then this is Juju over here. This is a really nice classic mauve. And today I am wearing a mix, actually, of the lightest 2. I first put on Wink all over. I would say the look is mostly Wink, and then I added a little bit of Infamous, which is just a tiny bit deeper. I kind of blended that in on the outsides. And I like the look, and I do find that these are very easy to blend with one another because they don't have that like instantaneous dry down. I mean, you can pull a little bit off on your finger. You know, they're not a 100% set product. But because of that, I think you're getting a little bit more moisture. And for me, like, while I like these shades, I think these nudes are pretty. The mauve might be my favorite in this set. For me, I think it's more of a formula thing that I love. Like, I would wear this formula in just about any shade they had to offer, I think. I haven't really like gone into Ulta and given the entire spectrum a good look, but I'm sure even though they're called Gen Nude, they probably have quite a few shades at the deeper end of the spectrum that might be sort of interesting to try out. But if you're looking for a good value on a few minis, I think this $18 kit is nice. If you're a nude lip lover and you do like a matte but not drying finish, I think you're going to enjoy it. And that is really important when it comes to the lighter nude shades, because I think that's where sometimes dryness shows itself most, in the lightest end of the spectrum and the darkest end of the spectrum. Sometimes with formulas that I'm not so cracked up about with liquid lipsticks, I can wear something in the middle and I feel like it wears better and it just looks more natural on my lips. But the really light and really dark are where the problems show up. So if I can wear shades this light on my lips and still feel like everything's looking kind of smooth and nice and not too dry, it's a good thing. Like I say in every video, I'm trying a ton of holiday stuff, so I've bounced around a lot with eyeshadow palettes, but there is one that I've been coming back to. It's been like my little secret here over, I don't know, the past more than a month. Maybe 2 months. I've been just dabbing into this occasionally, and I really like it, and I thought it was time that I mentioned it to you. It's a little $10 palette from e.l.f. Actually, it comes from a kit that's $10. I saved the box. It looks like this. I got this off of Ulta's website. It comes with an eye primer, 2 brushes. One is like a flat liner type brush, and then one is more like a pack it on the lid type brush. But it's just called the It's called the All About Eyes set. It's a 32 color palette, and e.l.f. has put out different types of palettes that are put in this format. But this particular one, I do love, you know, just the color selection. Everything is very fall-like. There are some super rich and pigmented colors in here. I'm not kidding with you. It's really good. I think this is great if you like a burgundy or plum look, because there's a lot of options where that's concerned. Today, I've got like a lot of this color working in my look, a lot of that plum like on the outside, a lot of this brown kind of blended up above, and that was also in the crease, a little bit of this shade on the inner part of my lid, and they're just easy to use. It's fun, it's approachable. None of the shades are too wild and crazy, but I think you can kind of see I've dipped into a lot of these and gotten quite a bit of use out of this palette. The other day I did more of like a greenish look on the lid, and it was very soft, but I truly liked it. And it's not one of those like big name holiday palettes, but it's affordable, and I think it's quite nice. I mean, look at these fun kind of shiny metallics that really have some dimension to them. If you really like your burgundies, plums, bronze shades, I think this is going to be a great fall palette for you. Little random things here. I know I talked about this in a recent video, but the Clinique Moisture Surge Overnight Mask, this came in the Dewy You set. It came with the regular Moisture Surge moisturizer and also a chubby stick, but then you got this mask. And I've been masking a lot lately as I've tried out some of the Peter Thomas Roth stuff and different things here and there. And this has been like my final step. Even though it's called a mask in itself, I kind of treat it like a night cream, and I feel like it's a great replenishing moisturizer. If your skin's even a little bit dry, you definitely wake up in the morning and feel like, okay, you know, it's gotten rehydrated overnight. My skin's pretty normal, occasionally on the dry side, and I feel like I've had less like dry patchy areas since I've been using this consistently at nighttime, so I love that. I'll link to the little kit because I think the kit is a nice way to just try out a small size like I've been doing. And then for my hair, I've been playing around with my hair a lot. Just, I feel like I'm still discovering how the heck to style this stuff. But one thing I knew I wanted was something that I could use to really get me some volume at my roots. So I just picked this up from Walgreens. It's from the Organics, or are they calling it OGX now, this line? But it says Strengthen Body Bamboo Fiberful Thickening Fiber Cream. Smells really good, first off, which is always a plus. And it also has a little pump. And I just pump out a tiny, like pearl-sized amount because I've got really fine hair here. Product can sometimes be a good thing or a bad thing. It's a fine line that I walk with too much product. And I just get it all over my fingers and work it in there at the roots. Even just, you know, flipping my head over, really massaging it into the roots, and then brushing my hair back, I feel like does a lot. But I've also done that and hit it with a blow dryer quickly, and that really does something. And it's especially useful when my hair, I tend to wash my hair at night, and if I get up the next day, it will have this super clean, super slick, you know, feeling to it. And just a little bit of this worked into the roots makes it a little more stylable and manageable. So I've liked that. I'm gonna leave you today on a negative note. I'm gonna leave you with one product that I don't see the appeal. And I've used it. You've probably seen it in the description box of my videos if you check that. I have been trying this Smashbox Studio Skin 15-hour wear hydrating foundation for what seems like weeks now, and I've got it in the shade 2.1, and I just don't get it. I have seen people promoting this on Instagram. I would totally put this up against my Rimmel Lasting Finish or my Revlon Color Stay, and I feel like I see this more on my skin. After I get done applying it, even when I blend it in with the dang beauty blender, I look at my skin and I think, well, it just looks kind of like a foundation. It's not particularly luminous. It just doesn't do a good job of becoming like one with the skin. Rimmel Lasting Finish is so much better about that. And as I wear it, I don't feel like it's getting much better. I'm not putting it on like the driest skin ever. I mean, my skin is moisturized, it's primed, I put this on, it's ready for foundation, and it's just like, I feel like I'm seeing the makeup. The coverage is medium. Just straight up medium. It's not doing anything extra. And frankly, I've tried the concealers from this line as well, and I feel ho-hum about those too. I just don't get the appeal. There needs to be more coverage. There needs to be more something about this formula that's either making my skin look a little more radiant or just really, really nice and natural and skin-like. I also feel like I want it to cover more. I'm sorry, but any day of the week, Rimmel Lasting Finish beats this one out. hands down. It's just how I feel. I'm sorry, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was interesting for you. Some really random stuff, but definitely some much loved stuff. And I'm kind of looking around the room here thinking I will be having some sort of video focusing on like budget-friendly gift sets, like more into the drugstore range. I know I did one on NYX, but stuff even more affordable than that. That kind of video will be coming, and also just an overall best of the holidays type video will be happening as well. So thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you soon. Bye.